Hi, everyone. This is Chris Lippincott here. Hope you can connect with me. Hope you can hear me because I'm on live and I'm trying to use some new software. I just want to make sure that I am live. Can you see me, hear me? If you're on the air, let me know that you're there and let me know that you're with me. It's about 5:30 on Wednesday, and I just wanted to reach out to you and say hi because we're doing the our weekly Facebook Lives today, and I wanted to see who's with us and reach out to everybody who's going to be watching us because we're going to talk about grounding and seeing how we can learn to calm ourselves in this very busy season. And one of the things that's really important about calming is when we start to think about the season we're in right now. This is perhaps the busiest month of the year. It's perhaps the busiest, most distracting, most chaotic month of the year. Um, so if you want to think about a time when stress is high, if you want to think about a time when you're really starting to feel the pressure build up, the commitments build up, the number of things on your to-do list starting to build up, this would be the month where you really start to feel it. And again, if you're with me today, if you're seeing me live, let me know where you're from. Type in the chat box. Let me see that you're with me. Let me know that you're with me because it's really great to see where everybody's from. And what I want to do is to be able to see one of the things very important is to think about where not only people are from, but also what your feelings are. What are you the most concerned about when it comes to calmness, grounding, and what are some of the methods that you use? In fact, I've got um, a poll that hopefully you'll be able to see on here. Um, and it's a poll about what method you use to ground yourself, what method you use to calm yourself. And if you see the poll, hopefully it's in there. But if you see it in there, just chat in your response. A lot of people like meditation. A lot of people like focusing on something. A lot of people like to count backwards with numbers. Oh, I see we've got people from Florida. Hey, Ray, how are you? I'm seeing Amy, uh, Michael Anagus also from Florida. Great. Hi, Jackie. How are you? And Amy from Long Beach. Great. Um, but so when you're thinking again about your methods of calming, what is it that you find most effective? And again, I was saying that a lot of people like meditation. One of the things I wanted to do was to offer a number of different ideas for you to actually use because when we think about the different types of methods that we've got available to us to calm ourselves, it's voluminous. The first thing I would do would be what I refer to as sort of like the meditation chair, the grounding chair, right? It's where you find your favorite armchair. You place your feet firmly on the floor. You allow your back to sink back against the back of the chair. Really feel yourself aligned with it. Feel yourself sinking into that chair. and allow your arms to rest there, and really allow the contact of your entire body throughout the chair and really sink deeply into it. And as you're doing that, just close your eyes and allow your muscles to let go, relax. Think there's not a care in the world, and all the tensions and stresses of the day just melt away, and allow the muscles to get really heavy because they're no longer holding anything. And just allow yourself to get into a place of peace and serenity. And as you're doing that, just start to feel that your feet are really burrowing down into Mother Earth, and all the energy that you're creating is now going down through your feet, all the way down, deep, deep, deep down into the earth, where that excess energy is just getting recycled. Feel that energy getting recycled for better purposes that you no longer need. And as you're doing that, also become aware of your breathing. As you're calmly breathing through your nose and then exhaling through your mouth, and you keep repeating that, become aware of your chest rising and falling, rising and falling. And then become aware of a small white light in your heart center. Start to feel that white light begin to expand without any effort, all by itself, as it expands throughout your entire body from head to toe. And then it expands outward beyond your body, filling out your entire room, out beyond your building, out into nature, up through the stars, out as far as you can think beyond the stars. And you become aware of another light that's even bigger than you, brighter than you, starting to approach you. And it tenderly and lovingly embraces you. This is source energy. And just feel yourself uniting and becoming one with source, and feel all the love and protection that comes from source through you, in you, around you, as you unite and become one as a singularity at one with source. And just stay there for a while. Just be, don't even think, and just relax. And after a while, slowly allow your light to come back into your body. Eventually, start to wiggle your toes and your fingers, become more present, slowly open your eyes, and come back. And that's one of my favorite ways of really just allowing myself to really calm down and meditate. And when I come out of that, I'm just so calm and full of peace. So, of course, that's my favorite way of doing it. Everybody's got their own different ways. But in this time of where everybody, where you go to a shopping mall, and you're trying to find this list of stuff, and you're getting bumped and jostled by people who don't even have a clue where they're going because they're all looking at their darn cell phones, or you're practically getting nailed by a crazy driver who doesn't even know where they're going. I'm sure you encounter this all the time. You're just like, you just want to rip your hair out. This is what you need to do when you get to that point. Another one of my favorite things to do in this time of stress and chaos and tension and distraction is something I call the five senses grounding technique. It's where you really work with the five different senses that you have and use each one of these senses to bring your attention into your center. You're really centering yourself and grounding yourself as you are changing your focus to whatever it is you're thinking. We're all thinking a mile a minute, but as you change that focus to that highway of thoughts in your mind that's going back and forth, and it comes straight into the center. First, think of five things that you can see all around you, right? What are the five things that you can observe both within your room, or perhaps that are outside, maybe in a window, or maybe you're outside? What are the five things that you can observe that really capture your attention? Also, then you can think, after those five things that you're seeing, what are the four things that you can feel? Maybe you feel the wind if you're outside. Maybe you feel the temperature. Maybe you feel the presence of somebody near. Maybe you feel happy. Maybe you feel an emotion. Maybe you feel like you ate too much. I don't know. Whatever it is that you feel, come up with a list of 4 things. See, we're going backwards. And then number 3, you want to think of 3 things that you can hear around you. Maybe it's the sound of the wind. Maybe it's the plumbing in the house. Maybe it's the heating in the house. Whatever it is, 3 things. And then we come down and then we think of 2 things that we're smelling. Again, if you're outside, what do you smell around you? Is it leaves? Do you smell car exhaust? Do you smell trees? Do you smell somebody's perfume, cigar? What is it? You come up with 2 things. And then last, think of 1 thing that you can taste. Imagine tasting something. Imagine tasting ice cream. Imagine tasting the toast you had for breakfast. Imagine tasting an incredible chicken for dinner or something. Whatever it is that really makes your world just go, oh, this is fantastic. I love that taste. Whatever. But you see how it went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're thinking of all the different senses. By the time that you're at that last sense, you're not thinking of all those things that stress you out anymore. You're centered completely. Um, so that would be my second most favorite thing to do. And I'd say my third most favorite thing to do would be hold something that captures your attention, put it in your hand. Maybe it's a crystal, maybe it's your favorite object, whatever it is, and focus on it. Really pay attention to it. Analyze every little aspect of it. Look at the grains, look at the colors, look at the shading, look at the shapes, feel the weight. Is it rough? Is it smooth? Describe every possible angle you can think of. And really focus on it as long as you can in every different way and dimension. And the more you're paying attention to it, the more you're focusing on it, the more you're going to become more present and more grounded and more calm and more relaxed. Again, all those thoughts that are, flying back and forth that you were so worried about are just going to dissipate. So it's really something that you want to just really do anything that you can in your power to bring to the center. Oh, and I see we've also got Angel from Texas. Hello, Texas. Love seeing in Texas that we're getting some people from a good way away. So that's wonderful. And I see Shelly from Pompton Plains. So hello, Shelly. Hello again. Um, but again, I would also ask you to type in the chat what your favorite methods are that you use for finding ways to calm yourself, ways to ground yourself. What is it that you use? And also, if you have any questions as we're going along, please let me know because I'm, really here to sort of do a Q&A. Oh, hi, Richard. How are you? It's great seeing you again. Yeah, but again, if you've got questions as we're going along, I'd love to, answer your questions as well. So please type those in the chat box as well. Another thing that I like to use when I am trying to center myself and ground myself in this very chaotic month of the year is find a way to change my focus, find a way to distract me. So let's say, for example, I'm in a room. How many different shades of blue can I find in that room? Or how many circles can I find in that room? How many triangles do I see? What different shapes are there? How many numbers do I see in the room? what are the different things? And you really start to go through the area and you're like, wow, there are more of the numbers than I expected. Count all the numbers, count all the different triangles, or count all the different circles, or start looking for really strange things. How many different straight lines can you see in the room? I mean, there's a countless number of things that you can come up with to distract your attention. Or how many different sound, if let's say you're outside, right? How many different sounds can I count at any given time? It's the possibilities are limited by your imagination. And we know our imagination just keeps on going and going and going. So just allow that to happen. And the more that you're focusing on all these different things that you see around you, the more that you're allowing yourself to be in the here and now. Because that's really, at the end of the day, that's what grounding is all about. Because grounding, by definition, really is getting outside, walking around, and connecting with nature. Whether that means walking outside on the grass barefoot, you're connecting with the grass, or maybe it means getting outside and experiencing the trees, experiencing the bushes. Maybe go hug a tree because trees have energy. A lot of people say, that's just, that's silly. Have you ever tried it? Have you ever gone up to a tree, put your arms around the tree, and stood there for 30 seconds? If you've walked up to a tree, put your arms around a tree, even though you'll say, oh, just a tree hugger, I make the challenge to you here and now. Go up to a tree, put your arms around a tree for 30 seconds and see what happens to you. I'll guarantee you will come back differently. There's a reason people hug trees because there's an incredible amount of energy coming out of trees. We just don't realize it because we don't normally go around hugging trees. People start thinking that we're a little off. But if you do it, you'll have an incredible experience. And the longer you're hugging that tree, the more of an energetic flow you're going to start to feel. And you're going to go back to that tree. And Lord knows, you may start to develop a relationship with that tree. And God help you if you have to cut down that tree one day. Your heart will break. But I jest. The funny part is that they have this incredible energy that we just don't take advantage of, and that's really grounding. Because not only do they have an energy, where do their roots go? Their roots go way down deep into the earth. That's grounding. They go into the ground. So they're very grounded. They've got very grounded and centered energy. I mean, have you ever noticed the direction? All their energy's up and down, very centered. There's a logic behind all this. So you do this and you start to realize trees are very centered. Trees are very grounded. So that's why you go up to a tree and you hug it. Not only will you get an incredible amount of energy, but you'll feel this wonderful sense of grounding. It's a centeredness, it's a grounding, and it's a wonderful experience. So do that. And furthering the concept on feet, um, focus on your feet for a second. This is like the sixth way of calming yourself, grounding yourself. Focus on your feet. You know, outline your feet in your mind with like an imaginary pencil. Just outline it with an imaginary pencil in your mind on one foot, then do the same thing with the other foot and keep doing that. Or maybe start moving your toes when you're inside your shoes. What does it feel like? Start focusing on that. Start shifting your attention from one side to another. Maybe you can start to focus your attention. Again, it's changing your focus. And I'd say the last one would be, especially now in this crazy season, the final rush of the year, we've all got this energy. It's all pent up energy. And a lot of times, especially now as it's getting colder, we want to stay inside, or we've got this COVID thing going on, so we tend to stay inside more often. We got all this pent up energy, and we can't do anything. So number one, Definitely try to go outside as often as you can. Go outside, get a walk for 20 minutes. We all know that if you walk for 20 minutes every day, that's a perfect amount of health. That's a great amount of exercise. That's all you really need to do is just walk, outside for 20 minutes a day. Doesn't have to be hard. Just go walk. So you walk 20 minutes a day and you feel healthy. All right. And that's just something that's so wonderful. So you do that and you just go outside and you feel healthy. Also, maybe you can just kind of put in ear pods or headphones and listen to some crazy dance music and just dance and become like a little kid again and start dancing crazy weird dances and just dance and turn up music really loud and just dance all the energy until you're completely exhausted, or run up and down the stairs, up and down and up and down and up and down until you're totally exhausted. You're like, you've used up all your energy. Or go around your house and just start cleaning up everything. And, maybe your house is a mess and it's like time for to straighten everything up. And you're just running around like a mad person, right? Whatever it is that gets you exhausted, eventually you're like, oh, okay, I'm drained, right? You've drained all that excess energy. You got to remove the pent up energy before you can calm down and feel grounded. So that's the one thing that I find to be very important. And those are certainly, my suggestions to do that. Oh, just kind of going back to the comments here, and I'm seeing Tucson, Arizona. Hello, Trisha. Wonderful to see you. Welcome, Arizona. Love to see that. And also, yeah, Trisha, I agree with you. Yeah, definitely crystals. That's definitely one thing to really hold on to. That's a great method of really not only feeling the energy, but also really calming yourself and getting really centered. And as you know, with crystals, they're great for looking at all the different dimensions, shading, ridges, everything. So just take a crystal, look at it, and look at all the different parts of the crystals. And I see Joyce from Scotland. Hello, Joyce. Wonderful to see you. That's great. I love seeing this is wonderful. I'm really just so happy to see so many different people from all different parts of not only the country but the world, which is making me feel quite happy, to say the least. And definitely Ray is saying one of the favorite ways to certainly calm down and get rid of that excess energy is to go outside, work in the yard. Just keep on working in the yard, whether it's getting all the leaves or straightening things up. That's definitely a way to you're doing two things at once. You're draining all that excess energy, but you're also grounding yourself because you're outside. So those are two things in one, which is a great idea, and I love that concept. Um, and what else? Angels also is saying, certainly do these things when you're outside, because what we tend to find is there's also so much stress right now. Everybody seems to be so panicked, not even just because it's the last month of the year, but because we're in a time where everybody feels stress because of the situation that's going around the world, right? We're all mentally stressed out. We've been this way for almost 2 years now, and it just keeps on evolving and changing. So mentally, we're at a point where uh, mankind has not been for about 100 years, and so we're getting totally stressed out, and we definitely need these kind of things to help us to really work with a way to deal with stress, because we have to learn how to deal with stress. We're in a really stressful time, not only on the calendar, but also just, from a health perspective. And that's really one thing we got to think about. So these are all very important ways to work with it. Um, so if you have any questions, I'd love to, answer any of your questions that you've got, because what I'm finding is it's just so important to be able to find a way that really helps you focus on whatever it is that's going to center you and calm you and really allow your body and your mind to de-stress. Because what I find is that, and science actually knows this to be true, is that we all get sick physically based on stress because the body can take its energy and place it in only two places. It's the old fight or flight response that humans created millions of years ago, back when the saber-toothed tigers were, chasing us, right? We either had the option of fighting the saber-toothed tiger, which would have been a losing proposition, or we had the option of running. So where are we going to spend our energy? And that system, that our internal system, built us up to the point where we still have two options. We either can focus our energy on our defenses, or we can focus our energy on other systems where the energy might be better used. So when I go to the stress response in the body drains energy away from where it might otherwise be needed. So if a person's really stressed out, it's going to go away from the immune system. It's going to go, all the cortisol that builds up in our body is going to drain that energy away from our immune system. That's our vital defense system. And it's going to go to another part of our body where it needs to be used, like the brain, right? So all of our energy is going to be going up in the brain because we're constantly stressed out, constantly worried, constantly thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Yeah, da, 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 as opposed to allowing the defense system and immune system to really work. So when we become de-stressed, it allows our body's energy to go where it needs. It's no longer focused on the brain 100%. It's now evenly balanced and can now be more equally used, and perhaps used even more efficiently in the immune system. So as a result, what happens is that we're no longer getting that exposure to sickness. We've got a stronger defense system. So that's why it's very important to be mentally healthy, lower our stress system. We've probably all heard this, and not to mention the fact that it's also very good for our blood pressure. It's good for our overall well-being. It's good for our families. There are countless reasons to ground, calm, be centered, relax. So, you could start drawing up this huge list of benefits and reasons why we need to do this. Um, so, there are any ways that we can do that? We talked about that. And Angel mentions petting your dog or your cat. That's a phenomenal way, because what are you doing? You're connecting with another living being. It's that love that you're sharing, love for the other being and their love for you. That is perhaps one of the best ways to really get yourself uh, centered, grounded, calm, and full of love. And when you're in that state where you're calm and you're full of love, your body is just that much more euphoric, happy, positive, and healthy. So definitely that's one thing you want to be, is positive, happy, healthy, calm, and connecting with your pets is a huge thing. Now, I would go further and say connecting and interacting with your loved ones, whatever that means to you. Maybe it's your pets, maybe it's your family, maybe it's your children, maybe it's your loved ones in spirit. Who knows? Whatever that means to you. If you're connecting where you're feeling love, you're giving love, you're receiving love, that is incredibly beneficial and incredibly healthy and incredibly calming and grounding. And that's going to benefit you. So I would say that'd be one thing to really focus on. So again, if you've got any last minute questions, I'd love to answer any questions you've got, because this is really sort of the time where I might be signing off, but I certainly thank you for joining me. This has definitely been a pleasure. And I certainly thank you for joining me all the way from all the different parts of the country and all different parts of the globe. I would certainly love to see you next week, where we'll be talking more about the body, more about meditation, more about calming, more about spirituality, more about how we can be connecting both with ourselves, our loved ones, and everything that's around us. So, with that, I thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next week. So, with that, thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.